So this is Polyplum's Ilsa block. It's meant to be a 9-inch block, and as you can see, it's somewhat wobbly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to block it with a hairdryer. And I'm going to start by pinning down the center so that I have something to measure from, and so that it doesn't blow across the table when I turn the dryer on it. Because it's not a salon quality dryer, but it's powerful enough to move the whole thing. So now I'm going to turn this on. And I think you can see how quickly and easily the wonkiness left as it warmed up. So I'm just going to take a couple of measurements. It's not really important here which pins I'm using because they're not going to be wet, so they're not going to rust. So since it's a 9-inch block, it should go to 4.5 on each edge, which is just about where this one is. So I'm going to pin that. And 4.5 for this edge. So I'm going to pin this. And it's still fairly warm to the touch, definitely not hot. My 4.5 mark here, it's just about. Just take that out just a touch yet. And my 4.5 mark going this way. Just needs to come out a bit. And that is a pretty good approximation of 9 inches both ways. So now I'm going to warm it up again just a bit. And I'm warming up the middle of it because I don't want to just get my whole stretching from the edges. I want to make sure that I've evenly distributed the stretching. I want to have a nice shape to it rather than just pulled corners. So I'm going to get my fingernails into there a little to drag it all the way from there to the corner. Kind of shape it a little. Because I'm going to want to leave this till it gets cold. Now remember, it's not wet, so it's not waiting till it gets dry, but it is going to be wanting to wait till it gets cold so that I don't undo my blocking by handling it while it's still soft. And that's the thing with acrylic. The heat softens it up and relaxes it a bit. Makes it much easier to handle. Much easier to stretch it if you warm it first instead of trying to pin it out and then heat it. So here we are. Last stage of the process. that's really all there is to it, except now not being tempted to do anything else with it until it cools off. So it's going to just sit here until it is happily cooled off. And this is a pretty simple one to block because it doesn't have a lot of post stitches and things that go in odd directions. It's pretty straightforward. So there it is. In case you wondered how I block with a hairdryer, now you know.